Good morning and happy Thanksgiving. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Jump Change. This is live recorded. We're going to talk about some CZ Binance news again today. Now, Mr. CoffeeZilla made a great video kind of ripping CZ apart a little bit, so we're going to get into that. I did dress up today just for you guys. No, I'm just kidding. I had to do it anyways, but I knew I wasn't going to have time after the stream, so figured why not do it first thing in the morning. Let's see who's here and then we'll get into this. Mr. Fully Electric, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Andrew Masad, Anthony, good to see you, buddy. We have Steven Cicero, Influx Mining, Broskis. What's up, dude? Good to see you. We have Mr. Crypto KJ. Appreciate you, buddy. Let's see who else is here. Man, it is early. I know you guys, a lot of you guys have the day off. Everyone's probably sleeping in, but we had to get up early and get the turkey ready. All right, Mr. Tomcat, good to see you. Everybody else, Rud Puts and Dakota Miner, appreciate you all. Let's get into the market, see what we're looking like today. We are looking like, wow, things are green. Things are really green. This is actually kind of surprising. Now, the only thing I can say about this is be careful, because tomorrow you might see some sort of pullback with Black Friday. People start selling shit. That's how it goes usually. But 37,412 Bitcoin. We have Ethereum over $2,063. That's crazy. Solana 57 bucks. The only thing that's down or red here, actually there's only a couple ones, but unfortunately I wish I had the prices right. Is that the theme song I want? Dun, 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 dun. And like, oh, like I wish I had that sound bite, but 12 cents. It's still doing good though. Kaspa's doing great. We have Uniswap right here, 15%, 6.25. Look at that. Let's see, Dogecoin 7.5 cents. Look at that, not too bad. Everything's green. I'm actually really shocked that everything's green. I'm not gonna lie, I really am. Top 100 coins again. Kaspa's down 3.3% on the day. ETH DYDX is down 4% and Crow's down 2.4, but everything else is up. Pyth is up 24 point. Man, I feel like this coin is up every freaking day. Am I wrong? 24.5. Man, this one, like, I really do feel like this thing's just climbing the charts. It's in 9th place. I don't know anything about this. I need to look into that Pyth network. Blur 15.2%. Interesting. All right, everything else, I mean, it's kind of it's neat. It's neat to say the least that it's actually going up like that. Fear and Greed Index looking at 66 in the greed. Honestly, still pretty neutral for me. Again, over 75, start to worry. That's kind of my way of looking at it, more or less. We have the top 10 coins by coin market cap over on CoinGecko. Let's see: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, XRP, Solana, USDC, Lido Staked Ether, Cardano, and Dogecoin still in 10th. You know what, I'm kind of shocked also that Dogecoin's been holding top 10 for as long as it has been. Kind of crazy. But let's go down a little bit. Litecoin's in 19th, Shiba's in 20th, Bitcoin Cash is now in 22nd. Uniswap took that place at 21st, and Kaspa still in 28th with a $2.7 billion market cap, which is very, very surprising. It was above, I mean, this is honestly the longs and shorts over on Binance probably didn't do this coin too much good, but to see it holding over 12 cents for as long as it has been is thoroughly impressive. Let's put it that way. All right, let's get into the mining stuff. Let's see what we're looking like. Top miners of the day: the WinMiner K9. We have the 10.3 terahash. As you can see right here, it is making $258.74 a day. Again, this was making like $300 the other day, but it goes off of the price of Kaspa. So with it being down, you're going to see a little bit of a dip in the profitability. KS3 is $199 a day, which is still absurd. I mean, that, dude, honestly, you got one of these machines, you don't have to work. $199 a day, that's crazy. I wish. We have the KS2 $48.90. We have the KS1 at $24.45. Let's scroll down a bit. Check out the KS0 Pros are making $4.94 a day now, just under $5. Don't worry, guys, it'll come back. I'm still waiting on my 7 to arrive. And I actually just dropped a video this morning. I did trade all my CPU mining rigs to Mr. Red Panda Mining. We have the Jasminer X16Q looking like $4.75 a day from jinglemining.com. If you guys are interested, links are in the description. We have the ETH F, and ZIL is actually most profitable right now. ETH F, man, I'm not a huge fan of that. Mining any of those coins, trying to keep Ethereum alive. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. Jasminer X4 is making $3.17 a day. The X4Q is making $1.63 a day, mining Octaspace. Let's see, scrolling down. Oh, actually, you know what? Hold on. Hold on. Is it Gold Shell? Gold Shell actually released the mini Doge 3? Am I wrong? I think I heard someone say that last night and I totally forgot to look. Let's see. Let's go to shop. Go to shop. Where is it? Sold out. I swear to God, somebody said that yesterday. The Gold Shell Mini Doge 3 was announced. And oh, new releases right here. Watch and GS. What is this? Oh, this is the 2. Why did someone tell me it was the 3? That was me, Steven Cicero. It's always you. There's a pain in my ass. Oh, it's 10 a.m. today? Oh, so it's like an hour. Okay. All right. So it's coming out today. The Mini Doge 3. Not saying that it's gonna be worth it, but 400 watts. Mini Doge. What is it? I don't even know what. Let's go look real quick. Mini Doge 2. Where is it? Let's try to find it. Gold Shell. Let's see. Let's just see. Just for shits. Mini Doge Pro. Is this the 2? Would that be the 2? You're losing money on it, so I don't know if it's gonna be worth it, to be honest. That's the Pro. I'm assuming that's the 2. And the Mini Doge right here, the normal one, 28 cents a day. This shit only makes 6 cents more a day. What the hell? Come on, Gold Shell, pick up your stuff. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, let's get into the news today, and then we're gonna slowly work our way towards CoffeeZilla's roast of Binance and CZ. This is Crypto World CNBC. What's next for Binance after the CEO stepped down and pled guilty? Let's get into it, guys. Hit that like button. Appreciate you all. Again, happy Thanksgiving if you guys aren't sticking around. Let's do it.
Today, more than $1 billion exits Binance after the crypto exchange reaches a multi-billion-dollar settlement with the U.S. government. And Stephen Levka, head of private clients at Swan Bitcoin, weighs in on what's next for the industry following that settlement. Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Talia Kaplan. Crypto markets are mixed after that bombshell criminal settlement with Binance yesterday. We'll
that bombshell.
Have all the details on that in just a second, but first, let's take a look at crypto prices. By noon Eastern, Bitcoin traded around $36,300, while Ether rose to around $2,030. Binance's BNB token fell more than 10%, though, as the crypto exchange saw more than $1 billion in outflows. Okay, let's focus on Binance and that settlement with U.S. law enforcement. On Tuesday, the company's CEO, Jinpeng Zhao, pleaded guilty to federal criminal charges as part of a $4.3 billion settlement with the Department of Justice. Zhao and others were charged with violating the Bank Secrecy Act by failing to implement an effective anti-money laundering program, or AML. Zhao also willfully violated U.S. economic sanctions in what prosecutors say was a deliberate and calculated effort to profit from the U.S. market without implementing controls required by U.S. law. On X, CZ said he made mistakes and must take responsibility. As part of taking responsibility, he also announced in that same post that he was stepping down as CEO of the company. Now, we'll come back to the rest of CZ's 2,400-character post in just a second, but let's keep talking about what exactly
2,400-character post
the U.S. government alleged, along with the details of the settlement. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said that Binance allowed bad actors to make more than 100,000 transactions that supported terrorism from the likes of Al-Qaeda and ISIS, the narcotics trade, and more. The exchange also allowed more than 1.5 million digital currency trades that violated U.S. sanctions. On top of that, we learned that Binance developed a way to notify VIP users if they became the subject of a law enforcement inquiry.
We're here today to announce the Treasury Department's historic action, the largest enforcement action in Treasury's history against Binance, the world's largest virtual currency exchange, for its consistent and egregious violations of U.S. anti-money laundering and sanctions law. Protecting the U.S. financial system, and through that, the global financial system, is core to the Treasury Department's mission. And ever since Binance launched its convertible virtual currency platform.
All right, hold on. Is that how you're supposed to say that? Please tell me it's not how you're supposed to say that. Please tell me she's saying it wrong and I haven't been this entire time.
It has knowingly evaded the U.S. laws designed to protect these systems. Over more than 3 years, FinCEN, OFAC, and IRS criminal investigation thoroughly investigated key aspects of Binance's activities. Our work revealed that Binance claimed to have exited the U.S. market years ago, but actually did not, retaining U.S. users and other significant ties with the United States.
So with this settlement, Binance will forfeit $2.5 billion to the U.S. government and pay a $1.8 billion fine. Importantly, though, the exchange can continue to operate, but now must follow some new rules. The company will make a complete exit from the U.S. market first and foremost. It will also have to step up its compliance program to meet AML rules, and there will be an independent party verifying its compliance. There's also the CEO spot, which has been left vacant, as we mentioned earlier. CZ announced that Richard Tang, the former CEO of Abu Dhabi Global Markets and global head of regional markets for Binance, will take over. Tang said in his own X post that he accepted the role so the company can continue to meet and exceed the expectations of stakeholders while achieving its core mission, the freedom of money. As for CZ himself, he says he'll be taking a break first, then doing some passive investing, although he also is currently released on a $175 million bond, had to pay a $50 million fine, and faces sentencing on February 23rd. The New York Times reports that CZ faces up to 18 months in prison, but prosecutors could seek more. Now, after the news broke yesterday, Patrick Hillman, Binance's former chief strategy officer, spoke to CNBC's Last Call. Here's what he had to say.
So real quick, I don't think he's actually going to see any jail time. I'm pretty sure that was just like on the table, but I think it's off the table now, if I'm not mistaken.
Last year, the company has been, derided, and it has been accused of FTX-like crimes, market manipulation, stealing user funds, fraud. And, today the government laid out its case, which was a good one, by the way. And none of those really, combative accusations or allegations are in there, as they shouldn't be. Now, the reality is Binance made some serious mistakes in the early days. They did not have KYC. They should have. And for that reason, today's settlement is fair and the outcome is fair. And so I think for the most part, the industry sees this as an opportunity now to continue to move forward and grow. And it's going to be the same opportunity for Binance as a company as well.
All right, real quick, before they get into this, because I missed this, Mr. Steven Cicero actually put this in the chat, the mini Doge 3 that's supposed to be announced today. This is Red Panda Mining's ASIC efficiency sheet. It has a hash rate of 650. The watts are 400, and oh wow, that's crazy. So you definitely need 2 6 pins from 2 different ports on this, guys. Please don't split one line. You guys are gonna melt shit immediately. Efficiency is at 0.61, so it's not great, but it's still better than the old stuff, right? I mean, they're just giving you a little before Locotech takes over stuff with this, right? They have their Black Friday. If I can get this on the screen, there we go. Black Friday sale going on right now. If you guys are interested, this is November 20th, the 24th rather. It's full stack, right? Instead of just a 10 stack with 10 hash blades, you get 12. So keep that in mind. I mean, I know it's stupid expensive, but is what it is. And then they also have the individual hash blades. You save $200 on those if you guys are interested. So I'll put a link to this in the chat in just a second. And Steven Cicero, appreciate you for this. All right, let's continue.
All right, sticking with the Binance settlement for our main story. Right after the news conference held by the DOJ, the U.S. Treasury Department, and CFTC yesterday, I spoke with Stephen Lupka, head of private clients at Swan Bitcoin, about all the developments involving the crypto exchange. He also weighs in on what's next for Binance and the industry as a whole. We learned that
also, I don't have any affiliation with those Hashblade things. I don't make any money off you guys, so just full disclosure. That is just letting you guys know because I saw it on their site.
Changpeng Zhao pleaded guilty to violating the Bank Secrecy Act and is stepping down from his role as CEO of Binance. The DOJ, U.S. Treasury Department, and CFTC announced an agreement with Binance over alleged money laundering and sanctions violations. The crypto company must now pay $4.3 billion in penalties and forfeitures. What was your reaction to these developments involving Binance, and what does it signal to the crypto industry?
Dude, she is dressed in all black. All black, straight goth style today.
Yeah, so on one hand, it's not surprising that these charges were brought to Binance. I think in the industry, in my position, the idea that Binance was going to escape scot-free or that CZ was going to get off without any charges seemed extremely unlikely. That being said, like this is in some capacities somewhat of a win for Binance in that they continue to operate, the company will continue to operate, and CZ is not going to jail. So those are some, I mean, definitely some variables which
There we go. He just said it. He's not going to jail. So there, it was on the table, but now it's no longer on the table, from what I understand.
could have been on the table that were not. It's a financial settlement, not so much. Now, there could still be new information. The DOJ is going to come into Binance and they're going to be going through their books and they're going to have compliance officers in there for the next 2 to 3 years. So there could be more information that comes to light. But at this stage, it seems kind of more of like a middle ground between both extremes.
Now, during a news conference, we heard Attorney General Merrick Garland say that Binance failed to comply with federal laws and pretended to comply. He said Binance prioritized its profits over the safety of the American people. Now, during that same news conference, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said Binance knowingly evaded U.S. laws and pointed to critical gaps in anti-money laundering practices. She said that Binance instructed staff to withhold information from law enforcement. She added that Binance failed to report suspicious transactions involving illegal narcotics and terrorism. She pointed to more than 100,000 transactions associated with terrorist groups, including Al-Qaeda and ISIS. She said that Binance processed transactions but never filed a single suspicious activity report. What do you think about those statements and Binance's alleged role in supporting illicit activities, including terrorism?
Yeah, so I think two things there. One is, that's not surprising in many ways. I mean, Binance was known to not be the most compliant company in the world, right? Like these are not shocking claims or revelations. But there is one thing we should be careful though of conflating this, which is Binance's activity, with these larger claims and narratives that commonly get proposed that Bitcoin or other crypto assets are such a huge problem for crime and illicit activity. When you look at the statistics, it's at like a fraction of 1% of all Bitcoin transactions have anything to do with illicit activity, and the totals across Bitcoin and even other digital assets, it is a very small part. It is so much smaller. The use of the dollar in illicit activity dwarfs the total sum of all financial crimes committed with Bitcoin or committed with other crypto assets. So it's important to hold both of those, that yes, Binance was a bad actor, but this shouldn't be used as evidence, in my opinion, that, it's some, referendum on Bitcoin.
So real quick, Binance is a bad actor in a different way than like SBF, right, and FTX, where they commingled customer funds. Binance didn't do that. They just didn't follow the rules. So technically they did bad things, right? It's a little different. So I just want to make sure people know that.
Now, Treasury Secretary Yellen said Binance must report suspicious transactions it failed to report to date and establish an effective anti-money laundering program. Do you think everything she outlined is enough for people to trust Binance again after all of these revelations involving the crypto exchange?
Well, they didn't steal your shit.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I don't think that trust is going to come rushing back. And I also think Binance is going to lose users over this. I think there is a portion of their users that selectively used Binance because of lax compliance. And
you know what? He's probably not wrong there. I mean, but it comes down to FUD in the market, right? Well, people get scared and they jump out. It's no different than when you see a price going down, you're going to sell your coins, So there's two sides to that.
With more robust compliance, I think those users will probably go elsewhere.
Another big story, Fidelity recently joined the race for a spot Ether ETF. The move follows BlackRock's proposed spot Ether ETF, and both firms are also waiting to hear whether they'll get approved to launch spot Bitcoin ETFs. We also recently learned that the SEC pushed decisions on the spot ETF proposals from Franklin Templeton and Global X to next year. What do you think will happen with all those applications? Do you think they'll actually get approved? And if they do, what will it mean for the crypto industry?
Mr. Fully Electric actually just said CCXD correct. One is just ignoring the rules versus one robbing your funds. And that's the difference here. People got to understand
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. I think it's a 90% plus probability that we see a spot Bitcoin ETF approved in Q1 of next year. I think we're quite close.
Can we just talk about this guy's shitty positioning for this interview? He is right in the sun where it's hitting him dead in the eyeball and he is dying.
I think those firms have been going back and forth with the SEC. They've been in dialogues. They've been updating their filings. That's not something we've seen before. So previously, the SEC just denied the applications, but currently we're seeing those companies talk with the SEC, revise the filing, talk with the SEC, revise the filing. There's a back and forth going on there that's new and hasn't happened before. It makes me quite confident we're going to see that approval, as well as obviously the big names that are backing these things. I think the Ether ETF is much more speculative that approval happens in the same time frame, given some of these securities complaints. But I do think the Bitcoin ETF is very likely to be approved. And I think it's an important moment for the industry. There's two categories here. There is the kind of what I'd call like the mechanical category of X number of dollars go into that vehicle and buy Bitcoin. And that number's in the billions. So that drives up the price. There's just new dollars that couldn't access it before or wouldn't access it before that come in and buy it. But then there's kind of this other category where many investors will see this as a regulatory blessing. It'll say, okay, Bitcoin is okay here. The SEC has clearly said that Bitcoin is okay. They have approved the spot Bitcoin ETF after years or a decade even of denying it, close to a decade, for various reasons. And so the average investor is going to think, okay, those concerns must have been resolved. Therefore, like Bitcoin has been de-risked. So I do see it as an important moment for the industry.
Now, Lepka also discussed other headlines involving crypto exchanges, including...
If you guys are interested in that full interview, go check out CNBC Television. I got the link down below for this one. Guys, that like button. Appreciate you for hanging out. Happy Thanksgiving. Mr. Taines in the chat. Thanks for showing up. All right, we're going to get into Altcoin Daily, and then we're going to get into what you guys have been waiting for. Mr. CoffeeZilla ripping Binance apart. All right, Binance crypto news just got way worse. I want to see what Mr. Austin over at Altcoin Daily says. Let's do it.
The picture you are seeing here is unprecedented. We have not seen this Attorney General and this Secretary of the Treasury do a joint press conference before today. And the reason is...
Oh, I wish that was the clip with her. Did you guys see that with her hacking up a lung when she was right behind him? She was like literally dying. It was kind of funny, but kind of not.
Do a joint press conference before today. And the reason is because of the scale of the alleged criminality that they are announcing here in this deal with Binance.
Things just got worse for Binance. As we know from yesterday's video, Binance just got criminally charged.
Binance has agreed to plead guilty to willfully violating the Bank Secrecy Act, knowingly failing to register as a money transmitting business, and willfully violating the International Emergency Economic Powers Act.
They also got fined. This is actually one of the largest fines in history of the U.S.
Oh, that's really cool looking how he did that.
Treasury.
The Justice Department is requiring Binance to pay $4.3 billion in penalties and forfeitures.
This is the largest enforcement action in the history of the Treasury Department, and you get a sense of why that is when you read the specifics of what the Treasury is laying out here.
And of course, founder and CEO CZ has also pleaded guilty.
We have also filed a felony charge against and secured a guilty plea from Changpeng Zhao. Zhao willfully violated federal law that requires financial institutions to guard against money laundering and terrorist financing.
And as BNB token dips, yet Bitcoin, the Bitcoin price continues to rally.
Literally everything continues to rally. If you guys haven't seen, everything is green. If you're just joining, shout out to everybody here. Happy Thanksgiving.
What comes next for Binance will shock you.
All of that is the reason why the Treasury Department is now imposing monitoring on Binance, which will get active reports inside the firm to understand what's going on in real time. Monitoring has never been done before in the cryptocurrency space. We have seen that in other criminal allegations in corporate America. This will be a first for the crypto space.
So even though Binance Exchange is not a U.S. company, It appears they will now be monitored by the U.S. government.
And there also is an important detail here, Scott, which they're calling the SAR look back. SAR is, again, the suspicious activity report. The Treasury Department is going to get a look back at suspicious activity that took place historically on Binance. So they're going to get intelligence on all sorts of alleged criminal and terrorist transactions that took place on that exchange going back 4 years. It will be a treasure trove for U.S. investigators.
Ooh, going back 4 years. Oh, man.
U.S. intelligence, U.S. law enforcement, and the rest as they pour through all those transactions and try to make connections and follow the money going back years here, Scott. So a real historic.
Now hold on. So just I'm sorry to pause that, but you know how they went back after Kraken, right? They went back after Kraken. This is I wonder if when they go back to 4 years, if they're gonna go back and fine again just because they can, because they found shit. That'd be interesting.
So with the U.S. government combing through past transactions, are you in trouble with the U.S. government if you used Binance in the past? Here's who they're looking for.
Terrorist financing took place on the Binance exchange, including for groups like Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Hamas, and others. They're saying that ransomware was paid for on the Binance exchange. They're saying that child sex abuse materials were paid for on the Binance exchange. Binance never reported transactions with websites devoted to selling child sex abuse materials. They're also saying that all sorts of illegal activity, including drug purchases, were transferred on the exchange through darknet markets, scams, and other illicit activity.
So you're
all right, real quick, just so you guys are like on the same page, this isn't like anything new, okay? News and media in general is going to FUD the shit out of this market, scare you, and make you think that it's like crypto is used for bad things, right? The US dollar is used for bad things, right? I think, what was it, 5%? Somebody said it in the chat yesterday. It was under 1% for actual crypto to do illicit activities, and the US dollar is over 5% or something along those lines. So just take it with a grain of salt. It's quite bullshit, at least in my opinion.
fine. Most of us are fine. The government is looking for the big crimes, the big players. And keep in mind, founder...
Yeah, if you guys... I just put a poll in the chat for fun. If you guys actually did use Binance the last 4 years, like, they have bigger fish to fry. I'm sure it's... You know, I'm sure you guys are fine.
CZ does now face a maximum of 10 years in prison, with fines up to $500,000, plus any profits he made from the alleged scheme. Although, as stated by the judge at the hearing, Zhao's agreement includes a waiver of his right to appeal, provided that his sentence doesn't exceed 18 months. So,
oh, wow. Oh, so he could still get the 18 months. Oh, wow.
Many people are saying that 18 months would be the absolute maximum. But when in doubt...
No, I'm sorry. This dude made like $60 billion from Binance for 18 months. Sign me up.
Zoom out, learn from the past. History doesn't repeat
totally
itself,
do that.
But it often rhymes.
Founder
of BitMEX, Arthur Hayes, which at the time was near the #1 exchange in the world, much like Binance, is the #1 exchange now. Arthur, founder, CEO, who, by the way, I partied with in Singapore. He throws a rager. He got...
Broski's in the chat says, I buy my weed with quarters.
near the same charges, and he did no jail time. I think he got like 2 years probation and had to step down as CEO. BitMEX was also not a U.S. company, and Arthur Hayes did not live in America. He saw no jail time. CZ was not running an American company, so if Arthur Hayes got 1 to 2 years probation, my bet is CZ gets 2 to 5. And Bitcoin is pumping because now we have clarity. The dark clouds around Binance are starting to clear up.
The reaction I'm getting from investors, those in the crypto space, is actually pretty optimistic. They're saying this was the last shoe to drop. This was the big uncertainty hanging over these markets.
Is that how you guys feel too with this whole Binance thing? I was very sketched out, to be honest, with Binance. Now to have this kind of out of the way and CZ's kind of gone, like the big names out. I mean, the U.S. definitely has a greater plan behind the scenes because, again, they want to control the markets, right? So they're going to get rid of the big guys. They're going to keep the golden child, which is Coinbase, because it helps them sell their funds. But they want BlackRock and them to be the people you guys go to, not Binance or offshore stuff. So they're going to shut all that shit down as soon as they can.
and that if it can survive something like this happening, CZ getting taken out as the CEO of this company, that there's a lot of optimism that maybe this is now priced in. They know what the price tag is in terms of the resolution, the plea deal here. Binance is not shutting down. It now makes up about 30% of global volume. It was 80% at one point. But that worst case scenario of Binance needing to shut down is not happening. So there's a little bit of optimism here, despite this being objectively negative news.
And
that's actually a good point, you know, because Binance absolutely could have closed the doors and they didn't. CZ stepped back so somebody else could take over and it could continue to flourish. And that's a good thing, actually, in general, for crypto.
Wait, even the alleged illicit activity that the US government said Binance facilitated is nothing compared to what happens with the dollar.
Less than 1% of activity in crypto is for illicit purposes like those that you just described. By the way, the US dollar cash is about 4% used for illicit activity. So crypto is certainly
There was. The inner degenerate came out in Brian Armstrong during this interview. But yeah, so he actually just nailed it on the head. So illicit activities, again, under 1% when it comes to crypto and over 4%, I guess, when it comes to US dollar. So it's a 4x, right? That's pretty much what it is. Sustainable crypto. Absolutely. Real quick, if Binance is not in the US, how can the US government regulate them, says Dakota Miner? So because they had Binance US and Binance wasn't smart enough, you guys don't understand. The reason you get LLCs and you kind of do separate corporations is so you can't tie the accounts together, okay, or the businesses together, like your subsidiaries. Yeah, so they didn't have anything separate. So if they registered Binance US as an LLC, you wouldn't have been able to touch Binance in general, like the offshores Binance, right? But because they didn't do that, they got absolutely effed, and that's pretty much how the government sees it. They're like, we want to see everything now because you're stupid.
Not unique in that a small percentage of bad actors try to use it. That's why we at Coinbase, for instance, have really strong transaction monitoring programs, and we've invested a lot in these programs around KYC and AML. But the centralized actors need to follow those rules.
I personally think CZ didn't have to do any of this. He chose to let's just pay the fine. I'll step down. Binance can go on its way on its own. By the way, he still retains majority share, so he still has ownership. But now that this dark cloud has been lifted off of the space, the Bitcoin price did dip on the news. But look, it appears we're already higher. And it makes sense, right? Banks have been fined for the exact same thing, if not worse. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen can't pronounce Binance.
We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has...
This is great. This is great. I didn't see this whole video. That is a riot. They actually shits on her.
Felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Oh, and he says it right, and then she's...
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
All while all the major Bitcoin ETF companies readied their applications secretly. Grayscale had meetings with the SEC's Division of Trading and Markets yesterday, meaning Grayscale is cooking. Also, Cathie Wood's company becomes the first issuer to publicly disclose basis points fees for its Bitcoin ETF.
Oh my God, they made Cathie Wood look awful.
Signaling constructive talks with the SEC.
AI,
and with the looming approval of the BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF combined with the Bitcoin halving next year, this could be the perfect storm.
We know in the past that Bitcoin has had these 2-year cycles that are generally centered around the halvening. And so we have another halvening coming up in April. And I'm not one of those people that thinks the halvening is the actual catalyst, but it's one of those sentiment things that all of a sudden now you have a reduction in supply. Couple that with the fact that we have the Federal Reserve that is likely done for some time being of raising rates. If not, we don't think they're going to go to 10%. Maybe they go to 5.5%, right? And then the second part of that is we now have these ETF filings. So for the first time ever, just like the gold ETF, you're going to have retail investors, not that they couldn't buy it before, but now registered investment advisors. Your Morgan Stanley wealth manager can allocate to this. And so that's what's got the market excited about this new ETF.
This is an ongoing story, so click subscribe to stay informed. In altcoin news, we have Thorchain making moves. The monthly trading volume on Thorchain has exceeded now $5 billion, the highest it has ever been. This is good for the Rune token. It's cool to see a decentralized exchange excel. Also, altcoin Radix making moves.
So that's actually kind of a cool picture.
Just in, Radix attracts $20 million in total value locked after only 8 weeks. No smart contract hacks and exploits, next generation UX, and DevX, hidden L1 gem. Could this be the next Sol? And of course, Bonsai's seed just went live. I am an investor. Help us build the future of no-code Web3 project management. From token creation to the sale, we've made it simple and secure. Basically what this platform is aiming to be.
All right, sorry, don't care. Chilling it. Don't want to hear it. All right, let's get into Binance fined $4.3 billion. CEO pleads guilty. Mr. CoffeeZilla. It's going to rip Binance apart right now. Guys, hit that like button. 104 of you here, 45 likes now. Appreciate you forever. Just hit that. Let's do it.
Binance agrees to pay $4.3 billion, and their CEO has pled guilty to violating money laundering rules and has stepped down, claiming, quote, "I make mistakes and I must take responsibility." Now, in exchange for a king's ransom and the king's head, the DOJ is expected to settle their criminal investigation with Binance. Some think this is the end for the world's largest crypto exchange. Others believe it's a glorified speeding ticket that's a net win for crypto. But what should you believe? It depends on how much you trust Binance. Let me explain. First, context. For the past year, there's been criminal and civil investigations into Binance, with the SEC, DOJ, and CFTC all investigating accusations of Binance accepting US investors while not being regulated, and then trying to hide that fact. Why would they do that? Well, according to their CEO, Changpeng Zhao, who I'll be calling CZ, quote, "If we blocked US users from day one, Binance will not be as big as we are today. It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission." So, money is the answer to why they did something illegal. It's always the answer, right? This is because, as CZ claims, 20 to 30% of Binance's potential revenue was from the US market. So, no wonder they kept US investors. But after
real quick, CoffeeZilla actually, he picks up a lot of things in this video, which is kind of important. So just yeah.
Years of no control, CZ eventually acknowledged the risk of allowing US customers. He says, quote, "We do need to block by IP and also know your customer." Now, this might seem like a step in the right direction, except for a critical decision. CZ maintained a subset of valuable US users on Binance. Basically, they kicked off the broke people to look good, but conspired to keep their high-value clients, quote, "contacting US VIP users offline through direct phone calls, leaving no trace." The VIP team would allegedly register a new separate account for an offshore entity while the user transferred their holdings to the new account. So it would look like that person was no longer from the US. According to CZ himself, the company had to be very careful to skirt the line using careful language. Quote, "We cannot say they are US users, and we want to help them. We say we miscategorize them as US users, but actually they are not." So that's bad, but it actually gets worse. See, the new filing from the DOJ shows these problems extended beyond the US to Binance outright allowing money launderers to move money through their platform. One compliance employee even wrote, quote, "We need a banner. Is washing drug money too hard these days? Come to Binance. We got cake for you." What? An example of this was when Hydra, a popular Russian darknet marketplace, transferred $106 million in Bitcoin to Binance.com and laundered their money through it. But not only did Binance have little to no money laundering controls in place, even when illegal funds were found, Binance would make special exceptions for their VIPs. In one example, a user was told to be careful with his flow of funds, especially from darknet like Hydra. He can come back with a new account, but this current one has to go, it's tainted. But
ooh, that's messed up. That's really messed up.
What is the point of flagging money laundering if you're just going to tell the guy to start a new account and try harder next time to not get caught? And I bring these issues up not just because they're pertinent to the settlement, which they are, but also because these issues demonstrate a problem Binance might have moving forward. Setting aside for a moment this $4.3 billion fine, part of this agreement is the expectation Binance is going to stop these illegal activities, clean up their act, have an independence compliance monitor for 3 years. But you have to ask yourself, was Binance so large and attractive to crypto people in spite of its loose money laundering controls, offshore, unregulated status, or was it because of it? What percentage of Binance's revenue vanishes overnight with increased scrutiny? I don't know the answer, but it certainly isn't zero. And speaking of challenges Binance faces, now let's put the $4.3 billion fine back on the table, which itself is a problem.
Real quick, Influx Mining says, that's fantastic customer service. LOL. I'd stay on the phone and actually do the survey. Mr. Alexander Fleener, appreciate you, buddy, for the 5 gifted memberships. Dude, you're awesome. Actually, I got to pull the hash rate giveaway. You totally just reminded me. Let's see who we got. We got Ovalbore Tech, Mrs. Pocket Change herself, got one. Crypto Bedell, Fully Electric, and Kaiser. You guys are awesome. Alexander, appreciate you, buddy. You're awesome.
Binance afford to pay it without dipping into customers' funds and becoming insolvent? Well, once again, it depends on how much you believe Binance. See, Binance regularly publishes a proof of reserves, which shows they have customer assets backed 1-to-1 and billions of dollars on top of it. According to those, yeah, it's a drop in the bucket. But proof of reserves don't fully show liabilities, causing people to call for a full audit for years now. But each time, it's met with a less than satisfactory response from their CEO.
Thus far, you haven't disclosed your liabilities. And I wonder...
Oh, this made CZ look really bad, actually. This made CZ look really bad.
Why that is, and whether you will.
Yeah, so we are working with the firms to do the audit of financials, liabilities, etc. But the audits don't reveal every problem. So
no, but an audit from a Big Four auditor would reveal that, CZ. If you could get a Big Four auditor to say that, if you're saying that some of them don't want to work with you, that raises questions too. They don't want to work with you because you don't have the files and the data that would make them feel comfortable signing off and giving that stamp of approval.
Actually, many of them don't even know how to audit crypto exchanges. They don't really, when they audit, they're very used to auditing a firm.
Does Coinbase, Coinbase has a Big Four. Coinbase has a Big Four auditor?
Actually, I don't look at Coinbase. We don't really look at
I think so, though.
Now, hold on, wait a second. Or you're saying you can't get an audit, but then refuse to acknowledge that your competitors are working with auditors? That's a red flag. And it's pretty clear. Look, we just don't know the full story. And I don't bring this up like as a boogeyman to scare you for no reason, telling you there's a monster under your bed, maybe. You know, it's something you legitimately need to think about if you have money on Binance. How much do you trust Binance is telling the truth and trust them with your money? It's ultimately up to you. For me, I've always told you guys, keep your money off these exchanges because what you don't know can hurt you. Just listen to Binance's CEO answer questions about his company's ability to pay steep fines earlier this year and ask yourself, does he sound confident?
Would you be able to handle it if somebody asked you for $2.1 billion back? Would that be okay? Would you be able to still withstand things?
We're financially okay.
Including you have $2.1 billion to give away. If somebody came to claw that back, you'd still be fine?
We'll let the lawyers handle it. We are financially strong.
Honestly, the right answer is yes. We're financially strong is just not good enough. It's literally one of those answers that means nothing. And by the way, the real fine is double that. So especially in light of that large layoffs at the company earlier this year, I'm personally not optimistic about Binance's future. Although, as I said, without a more detailed look at their finances, maybe from an auditor, we can't know for sure. But whether or not you're personally optimistic or pessimistic, I think there's one thing we can all come together and learn from on this story. Questions, concern, skepticism of a company, it's not FUD, it's basic due diligence, and the crypto industry has a troubling trend of pretending otherwise. Earlier this year, CZ started dismissing FUD, fake news, attacks, with the number 4. Like, he would just post pictures of himself whenever there were problems at Binance and just do this, as if it magically warded off problems. So to see that same guy less than 12 months later pleading guilty to charges, it has a level of embarrassment that I've almost never seen before. I say almost because technically I saw this piece of media on the most humble billionaire the day before that.
This is the absolute worst video I've ever seen in my life. This guy is a freaking boob. 100%.
From the same guy who also made the Sam Bankman-Fried puff piece. And it's definitely worse than this. So as we put CZ on the wall of shame, joining many other crypto people, I want to leave you with this wonderful piece of cringe. And as always, Thanks for watching.
This wonderful piece of cringe.
Hey, this is the richest guy in the world from crypto, and you don't even know him.
Hi, my name is CZ.
He made over $60 billion, but his mom still called him stupid. Let me tell you his incredible story.
This guy's an idiot. Binance founder CZ agrees to step down, plead guilty. Zhao's crypto exchange will also admit wrongdoing and agreed to pay $4.3 billion in fines. Oh my God, that was the perfect way to end that. That is great. You guys are awesome. All right, let's kind of shoot the breeze for a minute. What do you guys got? What do you guys got? Is anybody using Binance still? Let me know in the chat if you are. I guess at 10 o'clock today, is it 10 o'clock? Steven Cicero said that the Doge Mini 3 is actually being dropped from Gold Shell. You're going to be putting it on the site for sale. If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Sasquatch Crap, is that your name? Is that Sloth Squatch? Did you just change your name, or is it a different Sasquatch? That's hysterical. He said no, he's not using it. Nerd Beast's not using it. Let's see. No, you didn't. Okay, you didn't change your name. Damn, that's funny. That's funny that two of you guys have Sasquatch stuff. Jump wearing a regular shirt. Just noticed. What does that even mean? Regular shirt. You mean like a button-up shirt? This is a dress shirt, bro. Regular? God. So disrespectful, Patrick Murphy. Get out of here. The worst friend ever. You know that? I thought it looked good today. Just kidding. All right, let's see. Andrew Masad, appreciate you, buddy. And again, Alexander, you're awesome. Thank you for the gifted memberships, dude. Appreciate you very much. Let me see if I missed anything in the chat. Had a couple tags, but I think it was just having to do with the actual video we were watching. Mr. Tim I Am Crypto said, hope you and Pocket Chains and the kids have a great Thanksgiving, dude. Thank you. You as well. Appreciate you, buddy. Let me see. Is that Jingle Mining little BTC lottery machine new? It is, actually. I'm supposed to be getting one, and we're going to be giving it away on the channel, actually. I guess they're going to send me two, so one to give away and one for myself to do a video on, and then I'll probably just give it away as well. Kind of neat, actually. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Hitting all these damn buttons. Yeah, we'll just go on the recap section here. All right, let's see. I don't know where it would be, though. No, I don't want this. Get away from me. Why don't they have it anywhere? Gas miners. What would it be under? I don't even know where it would be. It's a little like, you know, let's go to the homepage. Maybe it's there. Show it on the homepage. Ah, they do. There it is. This thing. It's actually kind of neat. It's actually kind of cool. It's cool to look at and stuff, right? But it's got to, it's like $50, right? Obviously minus shipping, and it's charged by a USB-C. It's just like, it's a cool little, like, plastic toy that's like Bitcoin mining, kind of. I think it's neat. I really do think it's neat. It's just a cool little thing. It's a gimmick to get like your, you know, your family into it, which is kind of neat, at least in my opinion. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about it. Let me see in the chat. Check Twitter. It's on there. Oh, thank you, Miss Pocket Change. Have a nice Thanksgiving, broskies. You as well, buddy. Guys, hit that like button. Appreciate you all. Obviously, I'm here for you guys on a holiday. Let's see. They made a video on it. Yes, they did, actually, Mr. Fully Electric. I saw that. Actually. Let me, let's go to it. Jingle mining. There it is, actually. Right here. So yeah, well, you know what? Let's just play this real quick. Let's see. Oh, let me hit the like button. I actually already watched this. Look at that.
Here's the miner. First, let's plug it in,
like a 2-minute
and
video.
It'll
Super
show
easy.
up the welcome page. You just have to wait a few seconds. It'll switch into this Wi-Fi configuration page, and
Yes, you know what? I'll give this to my wife.
scan
She
the
can have
QR
it.
code, and
I'll
then
give the other
press
one away.
the join Jingle Miner network.
I'll put it in your stocking.
We're now looking at the setup page. In terms of the top, SSID and password.
So this is one of the things I was wondering, right? I'm like, which pool can it mine to? Because it's only like 55 kilohashes or something. It's so low. Yeah, sustainable crypto, exactly. 55 kilohashes. All right, yeah. It's like the odds of you hitting your block are never. You're never hitting a block. But it's cool. It's cool to see, like, you know, I don't know, get your family members into it. Just kind of give them a little hopium, right? Kind of neat.
Is available at home.
It's $50. Not really a big deal, you know.
And type
better than buying a scratch ticket, I would say.
Pool.vkbit.com for pool address. All right, pool.vk.
Oh wow, the Mars Lander's only $300 right now. Is it really? Wow, I actually got the new one, and the new one's pretty cool.
IT.com and type 3333 for the pool port. Okay, then attached on to your BTC
wallet. Let me just. We don't really need to see this whole thing, right? But this is it. It's kind of. It's just cool, like the overall, like what it looks like. 3 modes. I don't care what 3 modes. I just want to show you guys. Like I like. Oh, it's got the time. That's cool. It's kind of like a cool little desk piece, right? It really is kind of neat. I like it just because it's like simple, easy to use. It's a cool little gimmick. Again, like I said, just to kind of get your family members into it, but whatever. Either way, I don't care what you guys do, if you buy it or not. All right, let's look at this. So this right here is, all right, so this is the old Mars lander. Okay, this is, you can see like the LED strips. Oh, block my eyeballs. You can see the LED strips on the side. They're just kind of like stuck to this platform. And this platform was actually PLA. And you can see it broke right there. PLA is just 3D printed material, plastic. This other Mars lander from Bitcoin merch. If you guys are interested, I have a video somewhere and an affiliate link somewhere, but it doesn't matter either way. These things, they are a bit pricey, to be honest, for what they are, but they're cool little desk pieces, right? But you could see, man, this camera is just like too good. So you can see the LEDs are kind of integrated. If I could like get this thing to focus, you can see the LEDs integrated on the board there. And this whole thing's made of, it's like injection molded now. It's actually not 3D printed, which is kind of cool. So it's just a better design overall. Like if you put them side by side, you could see. Kind of. Maybe, if it'll stop focusing on me. Yeah, so new one, old one. Pretty cool. I mean, yeah, these are like 250 gigahashes versus 55 kilohashes or whatever. So like, hopefully they don't watch this, but yeah, that thing's kind of a piece, but at the same time, it's again, it's cool to get your family into it if you want to buy like a little gift for Christmas, $50 or something, you know. It's not a big deal. It's just neat, right? I'd totally buy it for like a Yankee swap for like a Christmas party, because why not, right? But again, it runs at like 1 watt. What do you want? You know what I mean? Just kind of get people into crypto in general, so whatever. Anyways, guys, I love you all. I gotta go upstairs and start prepping for people to come to my house, so hopefully you guys have a great, happy, and safe Thanksgiving. Don't drink too much. Be safe if you do. Don't drive, and I'll catch you guys bright and early tomorrow morning around 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see you guys then. Peace out. Have a good day, guys. Miss Pocket Change. I'm gonna come upstairs and give you a swirly right now. Bastard. Worst. The worst.
Woo!